Butlers will always be butlers. Tottenham will always be Tottenham, because how can you be leading with 2 goals in a European final with 15 minutes to go and somehow you do the most palsy thing ever and give up the lead? This Super Cup tonight was Tottenham's to lose. I know they didn't go into the game as favorites because, of course, PSG are the European champions, the Champions League winners, so they will always be favorites against a team that just won the Europa League. But with the way the game was going, Tottenham raised into a 2-goal lead from the first half, and early in the second half, they scored a second goal. There are 2 centre-backs, Mickey van de Ven and Christian Romero. They scored for Tottenham, and somehow they found themselves leading 2-0. A serious team does not bottle a 2-goal lead in a European final with 15 minutes to go. That is what Tottenham have just achieved tonight, guys. But no disrespect to PSG, I have to give them all the credit because they showed incredible fighting spirit in the last 15 minutes of the game. Tottenham were the better side in the first half. Let's be frank. Let's give them that credit. Tottenham were the better side in the first half, and they pressed PSG very well. They had a very good structure, and they were very strong on set pieces. Their 2 goals came from set pieces with 2 of their centre-backs, Van der Ven and Romero, the new captain, of course, for the club. They scored, and they were leading with 2 goals in a European final with 15 minutes to go. How do you bottle that? How do you explain it, guys? This is the most positive thing ever, and it's just typical because it had to be Tottenham that would do such a thing in this kind of position. From such a position of strength, Tottenham have bottled it, and PSG, they stole it. Credit to them. They showed immense character in the last 15 minutes of the game. The substitutions, they really helped them. The introduction of Fabian Ruiz, the introduction of Lee Khan, and also the introduction of Gonzalo Ramos. Those substitutions from Luis Enrique, they really turned the game in PSG's favor. So congratulations to PSG. They have won 5 trophies this season, with the exception of the Club World Cup. They have won every other competition that they have competed in this year, 2025. That's from last season, of course. So they have done a remarkable job. We have to give them all the credit in the world. For Luis Enrique, this guy has proven himself to be a serial winner. This is the second time in his career that he's winning 5 trophies in a season. He had done that before at Barcelona back in 2015, and now he has repeated the feat 10 years later in PSG in 2025. So this guy has shown that he's one of the best coaches in the world, and this goes to underline how good Chelsea were in the Club World Cup final. I need to talk about this because Chelsea were really, really good in that Club World Cup final. PSG have swept apart every opponent that they have faced this season. This year, 2025, to be precise, PSG have been unstoppable. They have been on fire. And Chelsea somehow, they didn't just beat them by mistake or by luck. Chelsea were really very convincing in that Club World Cup final, and I have to give them credit for that. Chelsea have shown over the years that they are a team that when the odds are against them, when their backs are against the wall, they tend to deliver. They did that in their 2012 final against Bayern Munich, and they did it in 2021 against Man City in the final as well. When they were not favorites, they did it again against PSG in the Club World Cup, because the way how good PSG has been in 2025, it had to take a special effort from Chelsea to stop them. So kudos to Chelsea for being the only team to have been able to stop PSG in 2025. PSG have been on a roll, guys. As poor as Tottenham were in the last 15 minutes of this Super Cup, PSG were relentless there. They didn't know when they were beaten. They were losing 2-0 with 15 minutes to go, and they kept pushing, and they got their reward with 2 goals in those last 15 minutes from 2 substitutes again. Luis Enrique has shown his master stroke once again. 2 substitutes got the goals that got PSG back in the game, and it went straight to penalties, and PSG won 4-3. So I think Tottenham, their biggest mistake tonight was after raising into a 2-goal lead, they sat too deep in the last few minutes of the game. And when fatigue had set in, and they were sitting way too deep. And the greatest mistake you can make against PSG is to sit too deep, because PSG will punish you. PSG are just so good against low blocks. They are definitely going to punish you. And Tottenham, they have suffered it tonight. I really thought they were going to win this game, to be honest, but PSG have been so good in 2025, guys. Brings me back to what I said about Chelsea. What Chelsea did in that Club World Cup final was special. They didn't just beat PSG. They trust PSG. It was a resounding victory. 3-0 against this PSG side in a one-off game. That was a major achievement because a lot of teams have shown that this PSG team is a team to be feared. That I think they are still the team to beat in Europe this season, guys, because they have performed remarkably well. The character, the strength of character that they showed in the last few minutes of a European final, you are losing 2-0, but they didn't stop pushing and they got their reward in the end. Congratulations to them. For Tottenham, I'm not surprised because Tottenham, they have this bad history of always bottling leads, always bottling promising positions. So Tottenham have continued in their Spursy ways, and it has not been a great start for Thomas Frank. The great start he had hoped for, it has not been the great start for him. And Postecoglou, wherever he is, he will be saying that probably if I was still in charge, I would have won this game, but you never can tell because he didn't get the opportunity to continue in Tottenham. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you make of tonight's game? What do you think are the aspects of the game that cost Tottenham this game in the last few minutes? And what do you think about this PSG team, guys? Do you think that PSG is still going to be the team to beat in Europe this season? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. And I'll catch you on the next video. Adios.